All right, y'all. So today we're going to chat. We're just going to sit down and have a little talk some sense chat about the Google Core update that just rolled out in March because, y'all, there's so much chatter on the internet in all of the groups about this particular update. So your pal Faith, I'm going to sit with you right here and I'm going to talk some deep breaths, talk you through this. If you're freaking out, just take a few minutes and listen to this podcast. If you're not freaking out, still listen because I'm going to give you some great tips. But I'm going to walk you through exactly what the Google update is. We're going to chat about what its intention is and how it's affecting people. And then I'm going to give you 7 tips to prevent this and future updates from negatively impacting you. All right? All right. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing with me, Faith Hannon. Do you want to grow your business with organic marketing and finally feel like you can understand SEO? Are you scouring the internet for how to get more website traffic, SEO for dummies, and how to market on Pinterest? Have you tried to grow your business with SEO and blogging only to get frustrated and quit because it's overwhelming and too time consuming? Been there. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, Jesus lover, copywriter, blogger, wife, wrangler of tiny humans, and barrel racer. And let me tell you, I didn't have time to waste sorting through SEO and keyword strategies that either didn't work or were so over my head I couldn't understand them. I honestly thought that SEO and blogging only worked for people with a PhD in tech jargon and a whole team of employees, until I learned these secrets. Good SEO strategies don't have to be complicated, and creating and marketing great content doesn't have to take more than a couple hours a week total. So pop in those earbuds, slam some coffee, and let's grow your business with simple organic marketing and a healthy dose of biblical encouragement along the way. Okay, y'all, so I'm a part of several different blogger forums and groups and all these things to just keep abreast of the trends and learn and always do better for my clients and myself. And let me just tell you, there's so much freaking out going on right now. I just feel like I need to pop in all these groups and go all like Mama Faith and be like, okay, let's take a deep breath. But alas, I don't. Maybe I should. Because I just feel like everyone is all worried and up in arms about every update ever, right? Meanwhile, I'm over here drinking my coffee without a care in the SERPS world. Why? Because I'm not seeing any changes or anything to really freak out about with my own stuff or my client stuff or past client stuff. So why am I not freaking out? What does all this stuff mean? And what should we be doing to prevent, freak out moments? Well, I'm going to walk you through that. Okay. So first, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what the core update is. And then we're going to talk about what the impact has been. And then I'm going to give you 7 tips to prevent this update and future updates from negatively impacting you. So what is the Google 2024 March core update? So per Google, this is what Google says it is, okay? So per Google, this update is specifically to reduce low quality, unoriginal content, AKA, y'all, this is to get rid of all of the dumb AI stuff that's coming up at the top of search results or was coming up at the top of search results. And the second reason Google says this is to keep more spam out of your results. And it breaks this down, Google breaks this down to 2 reasons. Scaled content abuse, which is basically when people were just using AI alone or primarily AI to create massive amounts of content. And then the second reason is to fix site reputation abuse, which means, let me tell you about this. This is to fix when there is not, like when somebody has a host site and they're hosting or sharing content about something other than what their site is about. Usually this would be like paid content stuff. So let's say I have a site about men's ties, and somebody's like, hey, I really want you to share content about, hair loss, and I'll pay you to share my content and link back to me. That's the kind of site reputation abuse that they're talking about. And then I guess there's 3 reasons. Sorry, my counter is off today. Expired domain abuse, which is basically when somebody would buy up an old domain and then go post a whole bunch of low quality, unoriginal content to try to get around what people call the sandbox time, where Google's like, is this a real site or not a real site? All of that's a little bit technical, but the point is this update is designed to get rid of spam and heavy AI content, okay? Now, what's the impact? What's the impact that we've been seeing? So overall, there are a lot of completely AI sites that are just gone, like completely de-indexed, meaning Google says we are not going to show your stuff in search results anymore. So these AI sites are either completely gone or they've lost all of their traffic. Another impact that we've been seeing is I'm speaking honestly here for myself and my clients and past clients. I'm talking like the blogger Facebook groups. So a lot of traffic numbers for other types of sites have dropped. But most of the sites that have seen those massive drops in traffic numbers were either creating massive amounts of content with using AI a lot, or they were creating content around very small keywords, or they didn't really have any expertise and authority around that topic, and they were just regurgitating information on the web. Like, let's say I've never been to New York City, right? Let's say that I decided I want to go for a keyword around the best bistros in New York City, and I'm just researching all kinds of stuff and regurgitating that information, versus somebody like, I've been to Amarillo, Texas a lot. I can talk to you about the good restaurants in Amarillo, Texas. So I could speak with authority on that, okay? So the impact here, and I'm sure I'll get emails to be like, my site's not that, and I've seen impact. I'm just speaking in general terms here, people, because like I said, I haven't seen that. I have not seen any issues with my sites or my client sites or past client sites. So the impact has maybe not been fully felt all the way just because of the update just rolled out in March. But overall, it is really just impacting AI generated sites, people that are using heavy AI in their content, or people that didn't really have a ton of authority and a ton of expertise or any on that topic, or they're just going for super tiny keywords for all of their stuff, okay? Now, if you are wondering if your site has been de-indexed, which is basically means that Google's like, we're not showing your site anymore, you can just simply check that in like 2 seconds by going to site.yourwebsitesname.com and then see if you're showing up in the search results. I'm guessing because you're listening to this podcast and we're podcast pals, you are not creating spammy content and using tons and tons of AI, because that's not something that I have taught y'all. So I'm pretty much assuming that y'all aren't doing that. But now I want to chat about how to prevent this update and future updates from negatively impacting you. Okay? All right. And the number one tip from preventing this and other future updates from negatively impacting you is this. Don't try to get around the rules. Don't try to get around the rules. Don't try to get around the rules. Please and thank you. Please and thank you, right? Please, for the love of all things, don't try to just do spammy or shady tactics to get around the rules, to rank in things, to just feel like you're going to outsmart the algorithm. You're not. One of the reasons I feel like my website, my clients' websites and past clients' websites haven't been hit by this is because we've always prioritized serving over SERPsing. When you are creating content with the intention to serve your people and serve your people well, and then you sprinkle in SEO like I teach y'all in here, then one, not only are you actually serving your people, but two, most generally search engines are going to recognize that as well. Okay, so don't try to get around the rules. Number two, I want you to prioritize serving and original, thoughtful, well-structured content. So, in Bambi, when Thumper's like, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. I feel like we need to kind of reinvent that saying for content creators. Like, if you can't say something helpful, don't say anything at all. Because I feel like so many content creators, and I have been there too, where you just feel like you have to churn out something, so you just create something. But before you publish anything, I want you to ask yourself, is this helpful? Is this helpful? Is this serving somebody? And is it original? Now, I don't want you to feel like you have to reinvent the wheel if you have, learned something and you want to teach something, there's nothing new under the sun, right? But you always, as a unique individual created by God, you're going to have an original twist or an original take, or at least an original story to go along with this piece of content, okay? And the third part of this, number two here is I want you to have well-structured content. Like, y'all, think back to high school English classes with your, 5-paragraph essays, and tell the people what you're going to tell them, and then tell them the things, and then remind them what you told them. Like, it's not rocket science. But you do need to have well-structured, clear content that has a great flow. Okay, the number three tip to prevent this update and any other updates from negatively impacting you is I want you to concentrate on quality over quantity. But this might mean longer blogs than you have previously been writing. So one of the things that we're seeing with the helpful content update this last fall and then this update is that Google is prioritizing content that fully answers the questions. You don't want somebody to come to your site and then have to go to another site after searching the same query. You want to thoroughly answer their question that they typed into Google with your content. So that might mean that you have to have longer blogs. And if you're having a hard time writing longer blogs because you're like, Faith, I'm out of words, I ain't got nothing else, try using tools like Answer the Public to generate more ideas around that particular keyword phrase that you're trying to rank for. And just think through, like, okay, what's the what, where, when, how, why, how, like, what are all of the questions that somebody might ask regarding this keyword phrase, regarding this topic, and try to include some of that, obviously not all of that, within your piece of content. Now, obviously this still needs to be well structured, it still needs to be clear, and it needs to flow, but I think that prioritizing quality content that thoroughly answers the questions is really going to be important for ranking. Number 4, don't be afraid to niche down, but not too far. Search engines are getting smarter. They just are, meaning that if somebody has a very specific keyword that they type in to the search, a search query, Google is going to see, oh, this keyword phrase is also related to this keyword phrase. So websites that are really, really, really niche down, I'm talking about like underwater basket weaving for single moms over the age of 30 type of niche keywords, right? Sites that have super, super, super niche keywords and the whole site is super, super, super niche, they might have been hit a little bit by this because Google is able to connect the dots a little bit better as search engines get smarter. So maybe like if somebody typed in popular hairstyles for spring of 2024 and you've targeted the keyword popular hairstyles for women and you've updated it in 2024, it should match you up now. Whereas previously you might have had to focus the whole of your content around spring 2024 popular hairstyles, long tail keywords. And then the next thing I want to touch on about this with the niche is if you're creating a bunch of content that's all over the board, Google is seeing you as not an expert. And I'm totally talking to my little baby blogger past self here. Like, you can't be an expert in all of the things in Google's eyes. You just can't. And if you are, and those things don't connect super organically, then just go start another site if you really want to create content about 97 things. Okay. And my number 5 tip here for you is to keep creating content, but also build smart. Okay. That means y'all serve your email list. Okay. If you have a podcast, serve your podcast and serve your blog. You don't have to duplicate content, but serve them both well. That means work smarter, not harder, but don't jump off the content bandwagon just because of one update, right? Like keep creating content. Don't freak out. Don't jump off the roller coaster. As Dave Ramsey says, the only people that get hurt at a theme park are the people who jump off the roller coaster. Also, if that's not factual, please don't send me hate mail. And the number 6 tip to keep you from being hit hard by this update or future updates is to prioritize the overall user experience on your website. I want you to look at things like page load time, your branding. Does your website look spammy? Okay. Like, does it look spammy to somebody? Look at your design, look at your layout, look at load time, look at how is this page connected to another page. Take a step back and look at the flow and look at the logical flow of your pages and think, does this make sense to a human brain? Does this serve my people well? Okay. And then the number 7 tip is I want you to prioritize 1 hour per week to work on small SEO fixes. And this could be things as tiny as, uploading smaller images to your website if your images are too large and taking too long to load. This could be like fixing broken links. This could be making sure that your site is connected and like this page, there's not any orphan pages over here. Whatever those things are that you need to fix on your website for better website health, prioritize just 1 hour a week for either your workflow or somebody on your team's workflow to fix those small SEO things. And if you are just really freaking out and you need some help and you're like, help me, Faith, and you're ready for a super honed in keyword strategy, SEO strategy, go ahead and book a call. And if you're not ready to spend the money yet, that's fine. Just go grab the SEO cheat sheet and the content tips cheat sheet that I have for free. Those are all linked in the show notes, as well as the blog for this podcast, because I realized that this podcast was a lot. And if you learn better by reading things and you just want to check these things off, then go check out the blog. And if you're not an email buddy, if we're not email pals, make sure that we are and you actually open up my emails and read them, because every Friday I give really tangible SEO content business growth tips for you that I don't share everywhere. So, all right, y'all, we'll chat with you next week. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.